This is actually going to be my 4-month update for Pan That palette. At the beginning of the year, I picked out 2 smaller palettes. Well, one's technically a quad, but I picked out 2 smaller palettes to try and get through before the end of 2016. And I've actually been using these 2 palettes since January. This first one is called the Maybelline Chic Naturals 40Q Designer Chocolates quad here. I will go ahead and insert last month's progress update right now. And this is what my palette looks like after 3 months of use. And this is what my palette looks like after using it for 4 months. So I'm going to go over a couple of the goals, and this actually broke, so I can pop this off. So I'll just take it off while I'm doing the video. So I had a goal to see if I could finish off this really light tan shade there. As you can see, obviously it's not finished off, but I did have to repress that one, and obviously I could have used this up in 2 or 3 days, but I've been trying to just use it to blend out darker eyeshadow that's around the crease area or under the bottom lash line. So I do have a little bit left in there, but that one will definitely be finished off before the next update. I barely whitened the pan on this white shade, just barely, the slightest amount. I've since stopped using this one as a face highlight. I usually just toss this one down all over the lid after a primer, just because it's such a stark white shadow that it's really intense, so I don't like using it as a face highlight very much. I also mentioned in one of my previous updates that this white one has a completely different texture than the rest of these shadows. I feel like the further down towards the pan that I get, the less it doesn't feel as rough of a texture as it does just on the top. So maybe I just need to get through that top layer a little bit and then it'll soften up. It's still kind of dry feeling towards the bottom, but it's not nearly as bad. So maybe it just, it dried out a little bit or something. This pinky mauve shadow, this one right here, that is what it looks like there. Obviously the pan got a little bit bigger, but this is my all-time favorite shade. Well, out of either palette, this one's my favorite shade. So I've been trying not to use that one very much at all. When I do use it, after I do an eyeshadow look, I'll just get a little on my ring finger and kind of dab it out on like maybe the outer 2/3 of my eye. And that's the only way that I use that one. I think that the pan got a little bigger on this brown one, but it is so incredibly difficult to get down to these edges right down here that I think instead of clearing out this whole area down here, I think I'm just going to start working from this middle area right here and up, because I can just repress it once I get all the way to the top up there. So I think I'm going to change my plan with that one and try and do it that way and see if I have any better luck with that. So as far as goals for next time, the only one that I'm really going to set is finishing off that light tan shade. Like I said, shouldn't take more than a week with the way that I've been using it. So really been enjoying using this little guy. It's a really nice palette to accompany other eyeshadow palettes, especially ones that have a little more daring colors. This is a pretty muted palette. The other palette that I had in this project was the Urban Decay Deluxe Shadow Box. This is what it looks like here. I'm pretty sure that they have stopped selling this on the Urban Decay website as well as Sephora. So anyway, I think the only place that you could probably purchase this would be Amazon or eBay or something. But let me insert last month's progress update right here. This is what my palette looks like after 3 months of use. And this is what my palette looks like after using it for 4 months. So, as you can see, I have a few changes in my palette. So, first off, right off the bat, this Ransom shade up here, I've been using this a ton. Mostly I just wear it in the outer corner. Sometimes I'll take it from maybe halfway on my eyelid and out to the crease. I've been pairing Ransom, which is the dark purple, with this fishnet shade, that light pink one right there. Essentially, I've widened the pan on pretty much everything except for Honey. I really don't think that one changed much at all. But big news, I did hit pan on Peace, and that was completely by accident. I don't have a set eyeshadow look that I've been using with that blue eyeshadow. It is just so difficult to wear. I think I'm just gonna have to go all out and wear it all over the lid and just toss on some black liner because I mean I can kind of combine it in with some other shadows, but it's just very difficult to work with. So the other shadow that looks very different in my opinion is Scratch down here. That one's almost finished up. It's just a really light kind of icy pink color. I have a couple shadows that I would like to finish off before the next update. There's 3 of them. There's Ransom right up here, that dark purple. I have Scratch right here, which was the icy pink, and then Underground, which is kind of like a taupey brown shade. So those are the 3 that I want to try and finish off completely. I would really like to focus some more of my attention on Honey, which is this really intense yellow shade, as well as Graffiti, which is the green one. That's the only one that I have left to hit pan on. Everything else in this project has pan, except for Graffiti. I'm thinking I could probably even have half of my black shade, probably this half over here, finished off before the next update, because I do use that to deepen up the crease a little bit. Sometimes I smudge it into the lash line for liner. You know, there's a handful of different ways that I use that one. I've even been putting that one down underneath Ransom in the outer corner. It actually turns out pretty cool because Ransom does have sort of a duochrome, maybe more of just a shift to it. Turns out pretty nice. So anyway, that's what my palette looks like so far. If I do end up doing an eye look where I have Peace all over the lid or Graffiti all over the lid, I'll try and take a photo of it and either post it on Instagram or put it in the next Pen That Palette update for you guys. But that is it. Those are all of my updates. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.